I'd like to share with you a journey I started last year. So far, I've made one small step, and I have a far way ahead. But this one step was so exciting, rich, and fulfilling that I want to share it with you. But first, let us go back 10 years. I was working as a fashion model, very successfully. I've been on magazine covers, big billboards. I've been doing shows for the top global designers. I was living in 14 countries and worked in many more. The life of a model. It sounds glamorous and exciting, doesn't it? You travel the world, you meet very influential people. You wear jewelry and clothes that are incredibly expensive. At some jobs, bodyguards accompanied us. Photographers were waiting for our arrival at the airport. Once I got booked for a magazine job, shot on location in India, Rajasthan. And when we flew into this town, I was landing in a fairy tale. In the distance, on a hill, was this beautiful palace, the Omait Bhawan Palace in Jodhpur, our residence for the next couple of days. So I'm standing there and I wear these beautiful evening dresses. I stand at the palace and I overlook the city. And you know what I see? I see poverty and survival. While I stand there and I wear a dress that could secure the income of a family for a couple of years. Not days, not months, years. And while there's nothing wrong about wearing beautiful clothes, where I'm struggling is when I see the clash of two worlds right in my face. I'm in India, sitting in a taxi, waiting at the traffic light. There's an old woman holding her hands open, asking for money. After her, a mother with her baby, a boy showing his missing leg, an old man. Every traffic light I stop, I know I'm expected. They wait for me. And I wait for the green light because I want to escape from this awkwardness. There are too many of them, and each time it creates a mix of emotions. It feels sad, awkward, uncomfortable. And each time I wonder how to react. Do we look at them, ignore them, smile at them, talk to them? And what are they doing with the money? Are they spending it for drugs? Maybe they're back as a profession. Maybe this girl is forced to back and she has to give the money to her patron. But most of all, I wonder, how can I help? I'm working in fashion. I was working in fashion. I'm not a doctor, nurse, or engineer. And not being able to use my time, my life for something useful was very unsatisfying to me. When you sit in your office or you're at home, do you wonder what life is about? If it's just about securing a salary, do you really do what you want to do? These questions never vanish, do they? There's only one solution, to make one conscious decision. And this one decision only we can take, this one decision to change our past. And maybe sometimes we need a little push for that. In my case, my past employee got hit by the financial crisis, so our salaries didn't come in for many months. It was not a nice experience. But that really allowed me to fully focus on what I want to do. It was an opportunity. Usually the bad times in our life turn out to be the biggest blessings. So I decided to set up a social development organization, committed to support people in need for whatever cause, in whatever country. And there was no business plan around it, just a decision to start with one small step. So 2 years earlier, I've been on holidays in Nepal, and I was visiting a school and orphanage, and last year I asked them, what do you need? How can we help? This first project was small. We provided space heaters for this NGO, and it had a value of 10,000 dirham. But from then onwards, things just progressed. By now, we implement projects in Asia, Africa, and South America, in the housing, water, and education sector. Our last project had a financial commitment of 1.4 million dirham. And thank you. Thank you very much. Now, when I commit to these organizations, I have a lot of anxieties, especially in the beginning, because I have no idea if it works. I have no idea how the resonance is. And when I received my first donation, it's an incredible buzz of happiness and excitement. There's such a strong impact because you realize that you can actually do it. It works. And at the same time, you carry responsibility. If you mess up your own money, it's upsetting. But if you mess up money of people that gave you that money to support people in need, you must ensure to do a very good job. And that's why we created a very specific concept. All our projects have a tangible and measurable objective. So there are sewing machines, a water well, low-cost houses, space heaters. We travel to each project country, we oversee the implementation, we document the procedure, and when we leave the country, the project is complete. We develop a project presentation because we want to show the supporters what they enabled. We want to involve them, and that's the key. Doing social work always creates two benefits. 50% is to support the people in need, but the other 50% is to educate and enable appreciation for those who already have. And in that moment, the giver becomes the receiver. Now allow me to share three experiences, three stories that I learned from. And let me ask you, what does safety mean to you? When you drive on Sheikh Zayed Road, are you afraid that somebody might rob you? Does anyone stop you from traveling to Abu Dhabi or Sharjah? That won't happen in the UAE, but it does happen in Kashmir. Together with our partner organization, we set up a vocational training center for girls. So we bought sewing machines in Islamabad, and we transported them to a place called Kotli in Kashmir. I was wearing a veil because I had to hide that I'm a foreigner at every checkpost we were passing. I was also hiding my valuable items in my socks and in my shirt because there was the risk of an ambush. And when I arrived safe back at the airport, it was such a relief. And really, it is a blessing that we can travel anywhere we want in the UAE. We can go jogging in the night and nothing will happen to us, or at least I never had any negative experience so far. And that is really a blessing. It is not a given in many other countries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me ask you, what is a home for you? Is it 2-bedroom, 5-bedroom, a kitchen, a living room with a garden and garage? That is the home of Luciana and Marcelo and their 5 children. 7 people in one room, flicked together with wooden and plastic panels right next to the sewage. Would you like your child to play with trash from the garbage dump? This is Danilo, Luciana's son. The only toy he possesses is trash he finds in a garbage dump. For this project, we're building low-cost houses in 5 favelas of Sao Paulo and Brazil. It takes 2 days to build one house. So we're sleeping in the favelas, we built the houses together with the families, and it was very hard work. When I live in Dubai in a very small room, and I like to complain about it, but the same room I live in is the home of a 7-member big family in another country. It's a blessing to have a home built with proper bricks, a proper window, a true shelter. It's not a given in many other countries. Let me ask you, how would your day look like without water and electricity? Forget about a laptop, mobile phone, TV. What if you don't have a shower? No toilet at your home, no AC during summer. You go to sleep when the sun is setting because you don't have light in your room. And that's how Maida and Farouk are living in a village of Bangladesh. I was staying in Bangladesh for some time to work with Muhammad Yunus. Muhammad Yunus has won the Nobel Peace Prize, and he's the founder of Grameen Bank. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. So Grameen Bank gives microloans to poor people, to beggars, and also to Maida and Farouk. Now they run the small grocery shop, but 10 years earlier, they used to be beggars for more than 20 years. And Maida is one of the most impressive people I've ever met. She spread so much happiness, she was always smiling, and she was incredibly welcoming. When we were visiting her home, it is one room, no shower, no toilet, no electricity, with holes in her roof. When you go to Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, they have daily water and electricity cuts. Bangladesh is a beautiful country with beautiful people, but I've never seen a place before with such an intensity of poverty. Poor, not in terms of having little, poor in terms of having nothing. It is really incredible. And arriving back in Dubai, it's hard to believe that those 2 countries exist on the same globe. Dubai looked so beautiful and so rich. Having a shower, running water, is not a given in many other countries. It's a blessing. Now, these are the moments and experiences that are precious, and I'm very grateful for them. And without our supporters, we couldn't have done anything. But trust me, I have my days when I doubt what I'm doing, when I don't appreciate, when I forget the lessons I learned, when the challenges and sacrifice look too big, when I question my own sanity, especially creating this movement before securing my own living. And once there was a situation where we had only half of the committed funds, and our partner organization was calling and said, okay, are you ready? And he said, yeah, sure, please proceed. And I hung up the phone and I thought I lost it because I committed to give away my last savings. But you know what happened? In the next 3 days, People were giving me the exact missing amount. Incredible, isn't it? Exactly in those 3 days, the exact missing amount. It's almost as if they Thank you. It's almost as if they could hear my thoughts. Now, hearing thoughts, that's not possible, is it? Let's try a little experiment. Look to your left or to your right, and maybe you can think one good thought about the person sitting next to you. Maybe he or she has a nice shirt, nice eyes, nice hair, whatever it is. Let's try it. Will you? Done? All right, very good. Every good thought you send out will come back to you as a good thought. Every thought that passes through your mind is influencing your life. Thoughts pass on to other minds, and consequently, people in a position to help will help, sometimes without even knowing why. And that's how we are all connected. I'm connected to the lady begging for money in India. I'm connected to every single person sitting here, and so are you to me. Today, I shared my journey. I'm still at the beginning. I did one small step, and I have no idea what your journey is. Your step is different, and it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it is one good thought. Maybe it is to volunteer skills and knowledge. Maybe it is to give 5 dirham for a good cause or to set up a social business. Each step is equally important, because in that moment, you take responsibility. And with responsibility comes power. And the more responsibility we take, the bigger is the power that we hold, because we can then directly create a change in the life of others. And I think that's an idea worth spreading. Thank you very much.